New jail footage just surfaced, and people think it shows Big U and Charleston White getting into it behind bars. For those who don't know, Big U recently turned himself in.
But I'm going to go turn myself in, though, because I ain't did nothing.
Right after that, Charleston White came out swinging with one of his wildest accusations yet.
I've been saying a long time ago Big U in the 60s had killed Nip.
You think that for real?
I know for a fact they did. I went to the funeral with the Rolling 60s.
Now, with reports that Charleston's been arrested too, people are convinced the two ended up in the same jail and might have even thrown hands. There's a lot going on around Big U right now, so let's break it all down. Big U's arrest and the RICO case. Eugene Big U Henley was arrested in March 2025 as part of a major federal RICO case nicknamed Operation Drawdown. This wasn't just any arrest. It was part of a sweeping indictment targeting what prosecutors describe as a sophisticated criminal organization with Big U allegedly at its center. For those unfamiliar with Big U's significance, understanding his arrest requires context about his position within Los Angeles culture. Big U has long been recognized as a pivotal figure in South Los Angeles. Born and raised in the community, he rose to prominence as a leader within the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, one of the city's most established street organizations. His influence extended beyond typical gang activities into community organizing, conflict mediation, and eventually the music industry, where he became known as a manager and advisor to several successful artists, most notably Nipsey Hussle, before his tragic death in 2019. Following a lengthy prison sentence in the early 2000s, Big U had publicly repositioned himself as a reformed community leader focused on positive change. He founded the Developing Options program, which aimed to provide alternatives to gang life for at-risk youth. This transformation narrative became central to his public persona, earning him respect in both grassroots community circles and entertainment industry boardrooms. His journey from incarceration to legitimate business success had been frequently cited as an example of rehabilitation and second chances. Given this background, the March 2025 arrest came as a shock to many who had accepted Big U's reformed image. According to reporting from the Los Angeles Times, the charges against Big U are extremely serious and wide-ranging. They include murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud, essentially painting a picture of a mafia-like criminal enterprise that reportedly had its tentacles in various aspects of Los Angeles life, including the entertainment industry. The indictment, which spans over 200 pages, alleges that despite his public rehabilitation narrative, Big U continued to oversee criminal operations throughout Los Angeles County. Prosecutors claim that he used his legitimate businesses and community programs as fronts for money laundering, while leveraging his street credibility and industry connections to facilitate extortion schemes targeting music artists, club owners, and other entertainment figures. Particularly damning are allegations that Big U maintained a network of loyal associates who carried out violent acts on his behalf, allowing him to maintain plausible deniability. The indictment details several incidents where individuals who refused to comply with extortion demands allegedly faced serious consequences, ranging from physical assaults to property damage. In at least 3 cases, prosecutors claim these confrontations escalated to homicide, though Big U himself is not directly charged with carrying out these killings. When Big U made his initial court appearance, the gravity of the situation was apparent to everyone present. The Los Angeles Times described him as being in custody, hands cuffed and legs shackled, a stark image for someone who had positioned himself as a reformed gang leader turned community activist and music industry figure. The courtroom was reportedly filled with supporters, including family members and several notable figures from the hip-hop community, underscoring his continued influence despite the serious nature of the charges. What makes this case particularly notable is the alleged connection between Big U's criminal organization and various aspects of the entertainment industry. Prosecutors claim that Big U and his associates used intimidation and extortion to profit from musicians and entertainment figures, creating a climate of fear that allowed them to operate with relative impunity for years. The indictment specifically mentions incidents involving unnamed high-profile recording artists who were allegedly forced to pay for protection or face consequences. The legal strategy behind the RICO charges is particularly significant. Originally designed to target traditional organized crime families, the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act allows prosecutors to connect seemingly unrelated crimes under the umbrella of an ongoing criminal enterprise. This approach enables them to build a comprehensive case against alleged organization leaders who might otherwise be insulated from direct involvement in criminal acts. For Big U, this means potentially facing responsibility for crimes allegedly committed by associates acting under his direction. Federal prosecutors have been particularly aggressive in their characterization of Big U's operation. U.S. Attorney Miranda Hernandez described it as one of the most sophisticated criminal enterprises we've encountered in Los Angeles in recent years, noting that the organization's ability to operate across different sectors, from traditional street crime to entertainment industry extortion, made it particularly difficult to investigate and dismantle. Just before turning himself in, Big U made what he described as potentially his last video, which quickly went viral across social media platforms.
It's gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with.
The video shows Big U looking visibly stressed but composed. His decision to record this message before surrendering highlights his awareness of the public relations aspect of his case. Throughout the video, he carefully frames the situation as persecution rather than legitimate law enforcement action, a narrative that has resonated with many of his supporters. In this emotional address, Big U made general denials of wrongdoing, though notably without addressing specific allegations.
But I'm going to go turn myself in, though. Because I ain't did nothing. Fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my windows. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him.
This portion of the video particularly resonated with viewers as it humanized Big U by focusing on the impact on his family. The mention of law enforcement approaching his son at football practice generated significant outrage among his supporters, who viewed it as unnecessarily intimidating. However, law enforcement sources later told the Los Angeles Times that contacting family members was standard procedure when attempting to locate a fugitive, and denied that any threatening behavior occurred. Big U also portrayed himself as a community leader being unfairly targeted, drawing explicit connections to historical cases of law enforcement targeting black community organizers.
But y'all sending it around, getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black, trying to help somebody, trying to help your community, and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they go on the internet and do what they want to, and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy.
This framing of his arrest as racially motivated persecution rather than legitimate criminal investigation has gained significant traction in certain communities. Several civil rights organizations have expressed concern about the case, though most have stopped short of explicitly defending Big U, instead focusing on general principles of due process and equal treatment under the law. The investigation that led to Big U's arrest reportedly began more than 3 years ago, following a series of violent incidents in South Los Angeles that investigators believed were connected to disputes over territory and business interests. According to court documents, authorities utilized a wide range of investigative techniques, including wiretaps, surveillance, financial analysis, and cooperation from several unnamed informants who had previously been associated with Big U's organization. The scale of Operation Drawdown extended far beyond Big U himself. The same day as his arrest, law enforcement conducted more than 30 raids across Los Angeles County, arresting 22 other individuals allegedly connected to his organization. Among those arrested were several figures known in the local music scene, including producers, club owners, and at least one rapper with a regional following. Authorities also seized approximately $1.2 million in cash, 43 firearms, and substantial quantities of narcotics. During a press conference announcing the arrests, FBI Special Agent in Charge Marcus Williams emphasized the impact of the operation. This organization has been a shadow hanging over Los Angeles for too long, using fear and violence to control legitimate businesses and harming the very communities Mr. Henley claimed to be helping. Today's actions represent a significant step toward making Los Angeles safer for everyone. Big U's legal team, led by prominent defense attorney Michael Ramirez, has vigorously contested the charges. In a statement released shortly after the arrest, Ramirez characterized the case as prosecutorial overreach based on unreliable informants and circumstantial evidence, adding that Mr. Henley has been a positive force in his community for years, and we look forward to demonstrating his innocence in court. The case has generated intense debate, particularly within the hip-hop community, where opinions on Big U are sharply divided. Some view him as a victim of systemic targeting of successful black men who've escaped poverty through street knowledge, while others like Charleston White see his arrest as long overdue accountability for someone who allegedly continued criminal activities while cultivating a reformed public image. Charleston's theory on the timing of Big U's arrest. Charleston White has developed a theory about why Big U was arrested at this particular time. In a detailed video, he suggested that the arrest was connected to Los Angeles' preparation for hosting the 2028 Olympics.
Yeah. Hey, listen, let me just say this about Big U now. This was more of a political move that had something to do with the Olympics. So the Olympics is coming to LA in like a year or two. So you got to think about when the Olympics came to Atlanta in 95, 96, the city and the county get a bunch of federal funding to go clean up the city, to prepare for the Olympics to come. Mm-hmm. So remember, Atlanta had the Red Dogs. The Red Dog had the resources, the power, the authorization to go out and do whatever, to clean up all the crack sellers, the drug dealers out of Atlanta before the Olympics came.
Charleston White expanded on this theory, drawing parallels to previous Olympic host cities.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of similar. There's no way that the politicians and these world leaders could let the Olympics come to LA and Big U and the Rolling 60s got a stronghold on the entertainment industry to nigga kidnap, to strong arm, to intimidate, to extort. So there's no way they was gonna let these people come to LA and they still have this free reign to do celebrities like this, homie. So no, they just cleaning up before the Olympics come.
Charleston White has also speculated about how Big U might respond to the charges he's facing. In one particularly direct statement, White suggested that cooperation with authorities might be in Big U's future.
So out of the case with Brick Baby, Loose Cat and all them, who you think gonna be the first to tell?
All of them. Big U gonna be the first to tell.
White continued with an emotionally charged description of how he imagines Big U reacted to the arrest.
Gray beard, Big U had in that picture going, man, that's Paw Paw. That nigga ain't that when he with his family and the news hit that he wanted. Nigga, he with his woman, he with his children, he with them grandkids. And them grandkids saying, Paw Paw, where you going? And Paw Paw got to go turn himself in. Man, crying on the inside. Just as soon as he can get by himself, man, Paw Paw don't want to leave them grandbaby.
In his commentary, Charleston White has positioned himself as someone challenging the traditional codes of silence in criminal organizations.
Come to remind everybody, hey, there's no loyalty in this group of criminals, my. Nobody have ever been able to uphold these codes. The mafia ain't, the Chinese mafia, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, everybody when they get caught by the oppressors, break and fold.
The tension between Charleston White and Big U represents more than just a personal feud. It speaks to larger questions about loyalty, redemption, and accountability in street culture. For Big U, the stakes are extremely high. If convicted on the charges he's facing, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. The allegations against him are extremely serious, and the federal RICO charges carry particularly heavy penalties. Charleston White's accusations about Big U's involvement in Nipsey Hussle's death add another layer of complexity to an already multifaceted case. While these allegations have not been confirmed by official sources, they have contributed to the intense public interest in Big U's case. Meanwhile, Big U maintained his innocence, both regarding the federal charges and the allegations related to Nipsey Hussle's death. In his pre-surrender video, he portrayed himself as a community leader being unfairly targeted. As this story continues to unfold, the truth about Big U's involvement, or lack thereof, in Nipsey Hussle's tragic death remains elusive despite years of investigation, speculation, and public statements. What's clear is that the relationship between these influential figures was multifaceted, encompassing elements of mentorship, business, community work, and at times, apparent conflict. The hip-hop community and beyond will be watching closely as Big U's case progresses through the legal system, perhaps finally bringing clarity to some of the questions that have lingered since Nipsey Hussle's untimely death. Big U and Nipsey Hussle, examining their relationship. Now the attention has clearly turned to Big U's past relationships, particularly with Nipsey Hussle, the Grammy-winning rapper who was tragically murdered in 2019. Despite some online speculation, it's important to look at what is actually known about their relationship based on public records and statements. Nipsey Hussle, born Ermias Asghedom, was murdered on March 31st, 2019, outside his clothing store, The Marathon Clothing, in South Los Angeles. The convicted shooter, Eric Holder, known in the community as Shitty Cuz, was sentenced to 60 years to life in prison for the murder. According to court testimony, the killing stemmed from a personal dispute between Holder and Hussle, with Holder reportedly feeling disrespected after Hussle mentioned rumors about him being an informant. This official narrative has been accepted by the courts, but in the years since Nipsey's death, various alternative theories have circulated online, including unfounded speculation about Big U's potential involvement. It's critical to note that no credible evidence has emerged linking Big U to Nipsey's murder, and he has not been charged with any crime related to Hussle's death. Big U and Nipsey Hussle had a long history together that spanned nearly 15 years. Their relationship began in the mid-2000s, when Nipsey was an up-and-coming artist. Big U reportedly played a significant role in Nipsey's early career, helping to launch him in the music industry by providing connections, guidance, and protection. Both were associated with the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips, and their relationship was publicly acknowledged as mentorship, with Nipsey often crediting Big U for guidance in early interviews. Throughout Nipsey's rise to prominence, Big U remained a consistent presence in his professional life. He was frequently mentioned in Nipsey's acknowledgments and thank you sections on album credits, and the two were often photographed together at industry events and community functions. When Nipsey launched his groundbreaking Crenshaw mixtape in 2013 with a $100 physical copy business model, Big U was reportedly supportive of the innovative approach that gained national attention when Jay-Z purchased 100 copies. As Nipsey's career advanced and he gained mainstream recognition, particularly with his Grammy-nominated album Victory Lap in 2018, his relationship with Big U appeared to remain positive on the surface. However, some industry insiders have suggested that the dynamics shifted as Nipsey's star power and business acumen grew, potentially creating tension in a relationship that had previously been more clearly defined by mentorship. In a 2021 Drink Champs interview conducted 2 years after Nipsey's death, Big U directly addressed rumors about his relationship with Nipsey and emphatically denied any conflict.
We ain't got no beef.
Right.
Period. We never stopped talking. We didn't go 2 days with nothing. We didn't have nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
All the way up until he signed a deal with Atlantic Records.
Big U claimed that after Nipsey signed with Atlantic Records for his major label debut, their relationship remained positive, with Nipsey actively including him in his professional endeavors.
He called me and said, let's go.
Celebrate.
Where the fuck is the beef at?
Right.
He fly me to New York.
Right.
I'm in the fucking video.
As evidence of their continued good relationship, Big U pointed to his appearance in Nipsey's music video, which demonstrated their ongoing professional collaboration.
His video, what is it, I ain't no rap niggas. The first song off of Victory Lap.
Big U also emphasized his active support of Nipsey's musical projects, positioning himself as one of Nipsey's most loyal supporters in the industry.
I am the nigga who promoted Victory Lap on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All these weirdos who told me who became Nipsey fans, they weren't promoting this shit. I'm the one promoting that. I went and did 5 days in the studio recording for the mixtape that was gonna come out after that.
Let's go.
You don't hear me though.
These statements paint a picture of continued collaboration and support, though it's worth noting that they represent Big U's perspective after Nipsey's death, when he was no longer able to confirm or contest this characterization of their relationship. Some community members and observers have pointed to potential business tensions that may have existed between the two. As Nipsey's business portfolio expanded to include the Marathon clothing store, real estate investments, and technology ventures, his economic interests potentially diverged from established neighborhood power structures. Nipsey's Buy Back the Block investment strategy, aimed at building black ownership in South Central Los Angeles, represented a different approach to community empowerment than traditional street organization hierarchies. One factual point that has been documented is a 2018 dispute involving Nipsey's brother, Samuel Black Sam Asghedom. According to police reports filed before Nipsey's death, there was a confrontation involving Black Sam and individuals allegedly associated with Big U over business matters related to the Marathon clothing store's operations. The exact nature of this dispute has been characterized differently by various parties, but its existence is not in question. However, it's important to note that this documented conflict does not establish any connection to Nipsey's murder the following year. Following Nipsey's death, Big U was visibly present at memorial events and spoke highly of him in numerous interviews. He participated in community healing initiatives and consistently expressed grief over the loss. In public statements, he has repeatedly emphasized Nipsey's positive impact on the community and positioned himself as carrying forward aspects of Nipsey's legacy through his own community work. When directly questioned about Eric Holder, the convicted murderer, Big U has consistently denied any association with him.
They clearly clearly had a conversation. They clearly was beefing. They clearly grew up together. And it's a nigga I never seen before. I never met him.
Big U elaborated on this point, explaining that the size of the organization made it impossible for him to know all younger members.
Really?
Nah, I ain't never met City. You gotta remember, we at any given time, we may have 1,500 homies throughout this on the streets. Maybe be 5,000 or 6,000. But if you got 15, I don't know all these young niggas. I'm 54. I don't know what niggas that's 25, 26, 27.
David Gross, a business partner of Nipsey's who collaborated with him on the Vector 90 co-working space and other real estate ventures, has shared insights about Nipsey's business relationships in the years before his death. In interviews, Gross has emphasized Nipsey's strategic approach to balancing community ties with entrepreneurial initiatives, describing how Nipsey navigated complex neighborhood dynamics while pursuing legitimate business success. Lauren London, Nipsey's partner at the time of his death, has generally refrained from commenting on theories surrounding his murder, consistently supporting the official account established in court. Through her public statements, she has focused on preserving Nipsey's legacy as an entrepreneur, community leader, and father, rather than engaging with alternative narratives about his death. Since the recent arrest, online speculation about connections between Big U and Nipsey's murder has intensified. However, it's crucial to distinguish between verified information and unsubstantiated theories. The current RICO case against Big U does not include any charges related to Nipsey Hussle's murder, and prosecutors have not publicly indicated that the two matters are connected in their investigation. In analyzing the relationship between Big U and Nipsey Hussle, several perspectives merit consideration. From one viewpoint, they represent different generations of community leadership, Big U emerging from traditional street organization structures, and Nipsey representing a new model of entrepreneurship and ownership. These approaches sometimes aligned and sometimes diverged, potentially creating both collaboration and tension. Another perspective frames their relationship within the broader context of mentorship in hip-hop culture, where established figures often guide emerging artists, but may face challenges when mentees achieve independent success. This dynamic has played out repeatedly in the industry, sometimes leading to business conflicts as relationships evolve from mentorship to partnership. A third framework examines their relationship through the lens of community economic development in South Central Los Angeles, where different visions for neighborhood improvement may compete or complement each other. Nipsey's emphasis on ownership and investment represented one approach, while Big U's community programs represented another, with both claiming to serve similar constituencies. What emerges from a careful examination of available information is a complex relationship that evolved over time as both men's positions and interests changed. Like many long-term business and community relationships, it likely contained elements of both cooperation and conflict at different points, defying simple characterization. That's all for today's deep dive. If you found this breakdown informative, we have plenty more. Just click any card on your screen right now and keep the fun going.